Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ethan Gilman, or as you may know me from the morning show, Game Day Gilman. Thanks for tuning in, whether you're listening to this game on the radio 100.9 FM or online at WCMPradio.com. You are in for some fantastic girls basketball action. We're in Pine City where the number 6 Dragons will take on the number 2 team in the state, Sauk Center, tonight. This is a Section 6 AA matchup where a lot is on the line really tonight. I am being helped on this call tonight by WCMP's very own Andrew Duvall. Andrew, thanks for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me out here. Ethan. Looking forward to this one. It's one of those games, I don't make it out to a ton of basketball games because I'm constantly at the Pine City Civic Center doing hockey. But guess what? There's no hockey tonight, and I couldn't miss this one.
Yeah, this is a big one. As I mentioned, there's a lot riding on this game. Of course, a win over Sauk Center should push the Dragons into the number 3 seed, which is currently being held by number 3 Royalton. Pine City has also had a lot of milestones this season, Andrew. They beat number 15 Duluth Marshall earlier in the season, and then they just recently beat the number 5 team in the state, Proctor, in a comeback victory, and then shortly after that, they won the Great River Conference Championship. That's huge in a year like they're having right now.
Yeah, Dragons are on a phenomenal season and a phenomenal run right now. They have not lost since December 26th. Well, I was trying to count the wins in a row, and there's just too many to count. I can't even count that high. They're 24-1. They won their first 6, then lost one. 18 wins in a row right now for Pine City. Final regular season game, and there's not going to be a bigger, tougher game than this one.
Yeah, I was talking earlier. I think this might be the basketball game of the year. This is going to be a good one. This win tonight, if they can get it, this will be the first season as far as records show, and records go back as far as the 2004 to 2005 season, that Pine City has had 25 wins in a single season. That includes playoffs. So never in the history of the Dragons, as far as records show, they've never had a 25-win season. And for Ted Haas, I'm sure he's looking forward to that as much as getting a win here over Sauk Center tonight. The last time these two teams played was last year. They were in Sauk Center. The Main Streeters beat the Dragons in that one, 81-60. But Andrew, I have a feeling this outcome is going to be very different.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be a close game tonight, no matter what. Dragons, Sauk Center is always really good, but Pine City is a better team this year than they were last year. Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. I mean, they have talent all across this roster, and it should be a lot of fun to watch tonight. Well, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll hear a word from our fine sponsors, and when we come back, we'll overview these teams. You're listening to Girls Basketball on 100.9 FM, WCMP.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings, with expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas. When you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Are you looking for support for your struggling teen? Introduce them to Treehouse Sandstone. At Treehouse Sandstone, we are on a mission to end hopelessness among teens in Pine County. We provide a safe space for teens to make connections and to talk about what is really going on in their lives. Join us on a Tuesday or Thursday from 6 to 8 at the Treehouse in Sandstone. To learn more or to get a ride, contact us at 763-486-3297 or check out our website at treehousesandstone.org.
M Health Fairview Clinic in Pine City can help your entire family stay healthy, heal from illness and injuries, or manage complex health conditions. Specialties include family medicine, diabetes education, podiatry, and physical therapy. With early morning appointments and 24/7 scheduling online or by phone, M Health Fairview makes it easy to get the care you need. The clinic even offers same-day appointments for when you need care right away. Call 320-629-6721 to make an appointment or visit fairview.org/Pine City.
family doesn't follow an 8 to 5 schedule. A slow week is 60 to 80 hours. My land, livestock, and family rely on me. That's why I bought farm insurance from Auto Owners Insurance, because every policy comes with a local agent. A real person who lives right in my community, who I can rely on to help keep my farm covered no matter what.
Visit Pine Insurance Agency located in the Northridge Center today.
Minnesota, it's home. Hot summers at the lake, beautiful falls, snowy winters, and rainy springs. We experience it all. Make sure you're ready to handle whatever this state throws at you with help from Minnesota Equipment and Isani. Minnesota Equipment carries brands you love, like John Deere, Steel, Toro, Grover zero-turn mowers, and Aaron snow blowers. Their helpful staff can not only get you the equipment you need, but can help you maintain it so it will last. Plus, they carry a full line of farm equipment. Minnesota Equipment and Isani. Online at minnesotaequipment.com.
Here, we listen. We engage. Through every stage of life, we provide compassionate care closely tuned to your needs and concerns. From surgery and physical therapy to specialty care and emergency services, Essentia Health Sandstone provides expert, personalized care for the people of Pine County. Here, we take care of each other. Essentia Health, like nowhere else. Call 320-245-5600 or visit essentiahealth.org to learn more.
Perry's Auto Salon in Rose City is your local specialist for all your auto collision repair. Perry's fixes it right the first time. Perry's will take care of all your insurance claims, making it a worry-free experience. Perry's Auto Salon offers state-of-the-art equipment, a downdraft paint booth, expert color matching, computerized frame straightening, and detailing. Towing and rental cars are available, whether it's a little ding or a big bang. Go to the pros at Perry's Auto Salon in Rush City, and you'll be driving home with quality reputation.
Welcome back here into the Pine City Gymnasium, where we await the start of this Section 6AA matchup between the Sauk Center Main Streeters and the Pine City Dragons. I'm Ethan Gilman, joined alongside by Andrew Duvall. And Andrew, let's take a look at how these teams have done so far this season. First, we'll start with the Main Streeters. They sit at 23-2 on the season. Of course, they are number 1 in this Section 6AA. Sauk Center, their 2 losses on the year come against the number 11 team in Class AA, Minnehaha Academy. That one was in overtime. That was their first game of the year, so that's a tough one to start the year. And then just recently they lost to number 7 Albany on Valentine's Day, and that kind of shook things up just a little bit. Sauk Center, they average about 67 points per game, and they give up only 45 points per game. Looking at their defense here, Andrew, they are probably, I'm going to guess, the best defense the Dragons have faced this season.
Yeah, without a doubt. This is going to be we talked about it. This Sauk Center team, I've only been covering this kind of area for basketball, this section, and they've been number 1 in this section for the last 5 years that I've been in it. They are always in that state tournament. They always compete really well at that state tournament, and they always put together really good teams. And so last year, they got knocked off actually in the semifinals to Albany in the Section 6-2A tournament. So these girls have a mission. They're trying to get back to that state tournament, and they want to come out here tonight. They know that Pine City's got a tough team and going to be one of the teams that stands in their way in the sections, and they want to come out and make a statement here tonight in the last game of the season.
Absolutely, that is 100% true. Now we're going to take a look at the Pine City side of things. The Dragons sit at 24-1 on the season. Their lone loss came against Class AAA Hutchinson back in the the Granite City Classic right after Christmas on that weekend. Pine City, they average about 74 points per game and give up about an average of 40 points per game. Now that is tops in all of Class 2A. Only Duluth Marshall scores more points per game with 76 points per game, but Pine City, they are first in averaging points against per game, and that's been really a key for them this year, Andrew, is being so strong on defense.
Yeah, and it really starts up top. You know, you've got a couple players like Elena Steele, Lily Wilson, Sophie Lottie, your guards there for Pine City that they put pressure on the ball carrier as the ball carrier is bringing it across the court. These girls are quick. There's a difference between fast and quick. They're fast and they're also quick.
Absolutely.
And then they get after it. And so if your point guard is struggling to get the ball up the court, it just throws off your entire rhythm and throws off everything you're trying to do. Sauk Center's going to try to get the ball down low to some of their big players, but Pine City is going to try to disrupt those passes and not allow them on the inside.
Absolutely. Speaking about some of these girls on this Dragons team, Lily Wilson earlier in the season broke the school's all-time scoring record, which was held by Gretchen Linsmeyer. That is a huge feat here, not only for Lily Wilson, but for this team as well, and I'm sure they celebrated it as such. Pine City has 3 players who average in double-digit points per game. That is Ellie Haas, who averages 18. Lily Wilson and Sophie Lottie average 13 apiece. Now, Sophie Lottie, only a freshman, but she plays a lot better than her age. She is probably one of the key players on this team to watch out for here tonight. She's just been a key. She's kind of sneaky when she comes off the bench. Sometimes the opposing team doesn't seem to know how good she is or how to guard her, and she just makes them pay for it. Other players on this team that make an impact, of course, are all of them, but Ashley Fowler is, in my opinion, a hybrid. She can shoot the threes, but she can also go down low in the paint and be strong inside the paint. Then you got Meredith Collin, who is really just that girl who will get down in the dirty areas of the paint. She's strong, she's aggressive in it, and she is not afraid to get fouled down there. And then you have Elena Steele, the cross-country runner. She is just so quick and so fast up the court. She makes you pay with her speed, and she is just too quick sometimes for those defenders, and she makes them pay with it.
Yeah, and you mentioned Sophie Lottie being a freshman. Coach Ted Haas in this squad they're not. This is not their first time they've had somebody with youth that's played well. Lily Wilson, I know Elena Steele, and I think Lily Wilson started playing as like a 8th or 7th grade.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm sure Ellie Haas actually followed my memory. It does not serve me correctly, but I believe they started playing right away, 8th, 9th grade. This is nothing new for Ted Haas. He's really good at taking these young players and grooming them into varsity players and very quickly.
Absolutely. This team will be in good hands once this veteran group does graduate. We're just about set for tip-off here. We'll take another quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have your starting lineups here on 100.9 FM WCMP.
Good news, it's home show season. Time to get inspired and make life in your home even better. Great news, you can get $200 off on the revolutionary Kinetico non-electric water treatment system from Aquarius Home Services, your local Kinetico dealer, without even going to the show. With Kinetico, all those rust stains will be gone. No more white scaling or hard water spots. Just sparkling fixtures, softer skin, and drinking water you can trust. The best water of your life all starts with a free water analysis. Visit KineticoMN.com. Aquarius and Kinetico. Brilliantly simple.
Parking lot potholes can keep your customers away. Ugly cracks in your driveway can bring down the value of your house. At Preferred Paving and ReadyMix, project size doesn't matter. Big or small, they pave it all. Preferred Paving and ReadyMix has delivered top-quality blacktop asphalt paving for housing divisions, commercial developments, industrial parks, recreational projects, and city and county streets, as well as smaller projects such as residential driveways and parking lots. From quote to completion, rely on Preferred Paving and ReadyMix in Rush City.
Welcome back here into the Pine City Gymnasium. We're awaiting tip-off in this Section 6AA matchup between the Main Streeters of Sauk Center and the Dragons of Pine City. Let's take a look at your starting lineups for both of these teams. For the Dragons, the starters will be number 2 freshman Sophie Lottie, number 3 senior Elena Steele, senior number 11 Lily Wilson, junior number 15 Ellie Haas, and senior number 31, Ashley Fowler. On the Sauk Center side of things, starting for them will be McKenna Westby, senior number 11, senior number 13, Megan Klaphack, senior number 21, Tori Peschel, senior number 35, Julia Damon, and junior number 55, Michaela Damon. Those are your starting lineups here for both of these teams. We're just about set here for tip-off. We're about under a minute away here, and while we await tip-off, we'll send it to another commercial break here. We will get the national anthem played, and we should be ready for tip-off here in Pine City. You're listening to Girls Basketball on WCMP.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Who welcomes change? Actually, we all do. We'll love it when the kids are done with diapers, and when the rash goes away, and when mom gets the new knee. That's the kind of new here as First Light changes its name. The new name is Wellia Health, as in welcome and wellness. And, well, what are you waiting for? Do stop by and check us out. Wellia Health, online at WELIAhealth.org. Live life well.
If you've been injured in an auto accident or have sustained other personal injury, you don't have to leave town to get good representation. Spear & Swanson attorneys at law in Pine City are experienced and will work on your case with no fee until they get you money. They also handle divorce and custody cases, criminal defense, including DWI and other legal matters. Spear & Swanson is your local law firm that cares about you. So if you need legal representation or advice, call 320-629-7586. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank & Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank & Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When Mora Chevrolet Buick says the deals are better here, they mean it. That's why they're offering Mora Chevrolet Buick's best price on a 2019 Buick Encore for just $24,570, or get 0% interest for 72 months on approved credit. Mora Chevrolet Buick is home to the Guaranteed Auto Finance program, and they have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in the area, so they will get you into your next new or pre-owned car or truck. See dealer for details. Mora Chevrolet Buick. The deals are better here.
Daggett's Fresh Foods wants to welcome all their new Pine City customers. Come up to Hinckley and get greeted with a smile when you walk in. You'll feel right at home as they help you put food on your family's plates. They only stock their store with the highest quality meats and produce available, so you know you're getting the best. One of their friendly staff members will be there to help you check out and carry your groceries to your car. When purchasing food for your family, don't settle. Shop your local, high-quality grocery store, Daggett's Fresh Foods in Hinckley.
Welcome back here into the Pine City Gymnasium. We are just about set here for tip-off. They are announcing starting lineups right now. And Andrew, something I forgot to mention there in the pregame, the composure of this Pine City squad. They have been down here in some games, especially at halftime, and they're close deficits, but they seem to be so monumentous because the other team has just played so well. But then they come out in the second half and just start coming out of nowhere and playing lights out. And I can only assume that's due to their composure and staying calm.
Well, and it has a lot to do with last year, this team went in the Section 6 2A playoffs. You know, you got to remember, Pine City is the only 2A school in their conference. So they play a lot of teams, or I guess Rush City is also 2A, but they play a lot of single A teams in their conference. And and so they don't really play a lot of the competition like a team like Sauk Center. Right. And so year after year they were playing, getting not really playing any big games in the regular season, and then come down to the section playoffs and wasn't really putting up a good showing. Well, last year they came in as a 6th seed. They beat St. Cloud Cathedral to make it 44-42. That's a great win for Pine City. Then they beat Royalton, and then they played in a section championship game against Albany. So you play 3 games like that. Most of these girls were on that team last year. I think they only graduated 1 or 2 last year, and so you come back now with after getting that under your belt, and you put some big games on the schedule like a Hutchinson, like a Sauk Center, and now it gets you more mentally prepared, because when you win a lot of games 60-20, you don't know how to play and that come from behind, because a lot of stuff in basketball, when it gets down to the wire, is knowing what to do in these situations, when to take timeouts, when to foul, things like when to take the 3 or take the 2, and they're learning that by playing in more close games.
Absolutely, and it just comes down to the fundamental part of it, and that can be so hard in those crunch time situations, because those are times where your adrenaline's running the highest it has been, and you're just looking to make the plays, but you got to play smart, and that is one thing that this Pine City Dragons team has done. The gym here is nearly to capacity. It has slowly filled up as the time has went along, and we are just about set here for tip-off in what is set to be a great Section 6 AA matchup here tonight in Pine City.
Yeah, you can see Ted Haas now on those of you that are watching YouTube out with his team at center court. There's got to be a little bit of nerves. This is just a regular season game, but it feels like a playoff game here, because if you get the win tonight, you know that there is not one team in this section that you cannot beat. And so the Dragons are going to try to get this big mental boost before the playoffs start next week.
Absolutely, and mention of the playoffs, no matter what seed they are, whether it's the 3 or 4 seed, they will play either Mora or Rush City in the first round of the playoffs, so two teams are very familiar with. But first, we have to get through this one. Tip-off is up and away, and Sauk Center comes down with it. With it is Clop Hockey. Clop Hockey will get it off here to Damon. Damon will pass it back here to Peschel. Peschel, she'll drive, stop her drive, look for anyone, then just put up a shot. No good, rebounded here by Ellie Haas. Haas will take it up the court, gets it off to Elena Steele. Elena Steele passes it over to Ashley Fowler. Fowler here to Wilson. Wilson will pass it in the paint to Ellie Haas. Ellie Haas so good at driving down in there inside the paint. She gets that one knocked away, and it will be last touch by the Main Streeters, so the Dragons will keep possession.
That's a matchup I want to watch. It's going to be Ellie Haas down low against either Julie Dahman or Tori Peschel, whoever ends up guarding her. That's a big matchup.
Ellie Haas leading this team in points per game average. Lily Wilson pass it off here to Elena Steele on the far side of the court. Elena Steele will drive to her left, now inside the paint, pass it out to Lily Wilson. Lily Wilson thought about the three, takes it down, then gets it off here to Lottie, and they're going to say Lily Wilson took too many steps and a travel, so that is a turnover, and the ball will go over to the Main Streeters.
Yeah, interesting call there. I think they're just going to say maybe Lily Wilson shuffled her feet a little bit as she got down inside.
Clop Hockey with the ball now, off here to Westby. Westby back here to Peschel. Peschel over to what looked like Damon. And now down the paint to Sophie Lottie, and she puts it up and in for two, and that's the first points of the game. And we have an injury down on the court. Ooh, that is Michaela Damon, and she's limping now to the sideline.
Yeah, that's a rolled ankle as she comes off. Hopefully she's okay, because you don't want to see that for either team for sure.
Right.
But the last thing you want when you're heading into the playoffs is to see a big injury here.
Audrey Zen will check in for her. Clop Hockey up the court with it now for the Main Streeters. She'll pass it off here to Westby. Westby back to Clop Hockey. That one knocked away, but Clop Hockey able to regain possession. Damon will put up the three, and that one's good. Julia Damon with the three there for the Main Streeters. We'll give Sauk Center a 1 point lead. Lily Wilson up the court with it for the Dragons. She passed it off here to Elena Steele. Steele off to Fowler. Fowler down in the paint to Ellie Haas. That one went through her hands, but Elena Steele was right there to regain possession. Fowler at the 3 point line. Now pass it over to Lily Wilson. Lily Wilson tries to drive, then she falls to her knees. Pass it off here to Elena Steele. Steele, she will drive. Stop on her drive. Pass it out here to Sophie Lottie. Lottie fakes the three, then drives inside the paint. She got a wide open lane and misses on the layup. Sometimes you're just too wide open on those layups, and she missed it. Clop Hockey up the court now for the Main Streeters. She will drive it nearly all the way, then pass it off here. Now to Peschel. Peschel will drive to her right and get it off here to Westby. Westby will drive to the left, pass it back to Peschel. Peschel in the paint now to Zen Zen. Zen Zen trying to drive, spins around. That one is up and in for two. Zen Zen spun around a couple times, and she was able to put that one up and in for another bucket. Lily Wilson now off with it to the far side of the court. She gets the call from Coach Ted Haas, sets it up, passes it off here to Lottie. Lottie over to Fowler. Fowler back to Lottie. Lottie to Elena Steele now. Steele will get it to Fowler. Fowler thought about the three, then passes it to Ellie Haas. Haas, she'll drive to her left a little bit, pass it off to Elena Steele. Elena Steele now to Fowler. Fowler will take the three, and she nails the three!
Big time shot there for Fowler. Elena Steele now getting assists on both of the buckets for the Dragons. We're all tied back up.
Elena Steele is probably one of the best people to assist on the court, as Damon puts up a shot from three-point range and misses. Rebounded here by Elena Steele. Elena Steele quickly up the court. She is so quick with her feet. Off to Lily Wilson. Wilson fakes the three, gets it in the paint to Lottie. Lottie puts it up and in for two. Great passing there by the Dragons leads to that bucket there by Sophie Lottie, and now the Dragons have a 2-point lead.
Good ball movement so far by Pine City. They're going to have a lot of success if they continue to do that.
Absolutely. Now in the paint is Zenzen. She puts it up. No good. Rebounded by Fowler. Fowler will get it off to Wilson. Wilson will jog up the court now. She'll stop at the three-point line, then drive to her left. She drives inside the paint, gets it off here to Ellie Haas. Ellie Haas, she decides to drive, spins, then decides to put up a shot. No good. That one's taken in by the Main Streeters. Peschel up the court with it for Sauk Center. Fakes the three, gets it off here to Westby. Westby back to Peschel. Peschel now in the paint to Zenzen. Zenzen will drive, puts up a hook shot, and it's up and in for two. Good job there by Zenzen putting up that nice right hook. And gets that one to fall. Wilson, she'll take it up the court here for the Dragons. She's pointing her teammates where she wants them. Calls out a play, then drives to her left. Gets it to Fowler, now to Ellie Haas. Ellie Haas, she'll drive and then stop and then pass it to Ashley Fowler. Fowler has that pass intercepted there by Sauk Center, and they will take it up the court. Clop Hockey up the court with it. Pass here to Westby. Westby driving to her left, then gets it off here to Peschel. Peschel. She'll drive now. Gets it back here to Clop Hockey. Clop Hockey has that one stolen away by Elena Steele. She does it all. She passes it down, deep down court to Lily Wilson, and then she tries to get it to Lottie in the paint. That one was knocked away, out of bounds. Last touched by Sauk Center, so Pine City will keep possession of the ball. Meredith Calling checks in for the Dragons. She will check in for Ashley Fowler.
Good first couple minutes here from Elena Steele. No points yet, so she's not got her name on the scorebook, but a pair of assists and a couple steals.
She is like the Swiss Army knife of this Dragons team. She can just do it all out there on the court. Calling with it. Now she gets bumped back outside the three-point line. A couple fans in the crowd want a call there. They're not going to get it. And we're going to get a call this time. And that one is going to go against Sauk Center. Lily Wilson was driving, but she was fouled. I believe the foul there was on Tori Peschel, who was guarding. No, they're going to say it was on Audrey Zenzen.
Yeah,
so Zenzen with her first.
Just got tangled up there with Lily trying to drive.
So Lily will inbound it here to Elena Steele. Elena Steele quickly drives inside the paint, and my goodness, she puts up the shot, no good. But she is just so quick. She gets by defenders in the blink of an eye, and she is hard to cover. Peschel up the court with it for the Main Streeters. She's just going to decide to drive. She puts up the shot. No good. Rebound here by Ellie Haas. Ellie Haas, she'll jog it up the court here. She'll stop, pass it out to Sophie Lottie, who has an open three. Off the back. Oh, it was off the rim once, then on the opposite side of the backboard, and that's out of bounds. So that is no good, and the Main Streeters will take over with possession.
Yeah, not a bad look there from Lottie. Wide open, standing at the top of the arc. You like that shot from her. She's not able to bury it this time.
She will have plenty more opportunities here as the ball is nearly stolen away. Clop Hockey has a three-point opportunity. She misses on it, and now Meredith Calling down, and they're fighting for it. It's going to be a jump ball. Who will the possession arrow favor? It will be the Dragons. All tied up here at 7 with just over 12 minutes left here in this first half. On that M Health Fairview Clinic scoreboard, M Health Fairview Clinic's Pine City and North Branch has 24-hour access to care by calling 1-855-FAIRVIEW or your local clinic number. Lily Wilson up the court here. She drives, makes a couple moves, then drives again. Pass it out here to Meredith Calling. Meredith Calling for three. That's a shot she normally doesn't take, but it is... Oh, they're going to say last touch by Sauk Center. And from my point of view, it looked like Sauk Center touched it last, but they're going to say it was off of the hands of Chloe Lind.
Pine City fans would agree with you, Ethan. Unfortunately, both us and the Pine City fans may be a little biased.
And now for the three here for the Main Streeters is Kaylee Trisco, and she gives Sauk Center a 3-point lead. Of course, Andrew, the refs are on the court, so they have a better viewpoint, as I like to remind everybody. Lily Wilson has it. She passed it off here to Ellie Haas. Ellie Haas looks for someone to get it off to. She does to Elena Steele. Elena Steele, she'll drive. Stop on her drive, get it to Lind. Lind will pass it back here to Elena Steele. Steele drives to her right. Passes it in the paint to Lynn, but it's just out of the outstretched arms of Lynn, and the possession will go back to the Main Streeters.
Dragons just need to take a deep breath right now. They've missed a couple open looks. They've had a couple turnovers. They're playing good basketball before that, so they just need to take it, like I said, take a deep breath, get back to what they do best.
And that might help them. There's the pass from Peschel to Trisco was just high, and the Dragons will get possession back here. So a good offensive possession here. Maybe take a little bit of time off the clock here if you're the Dragons. Set up your offense and make sure you get a wide open look somewhere. Lily Wilson getting a call here from Ted Haas. And then she gets it to Calling. Calling down in the paint to Fowler, and Fowler misses. And rebounded here by Sauk Center. Sauk Center right now out-rebounding the Dragons just by a slight advantage, especially on their defensive side of the board. So good news here for Sauk Center as Michaela Damon is back in for them. So her ankle seems to be okay. Fowler with it now. She gets it off to Ellie Haas. Ellie Haas down to Calling. Calling. She'll drive, try to get it inside the paint. Protecting the ball, gets it to Ellie Haas. Haas to Elena Steele. Elena Steele, she'll decide to drive and say, I'll take that, but the Main Streeters will steal it away. And now Peschel up the court with it for Sauk Center. Peschel will drive and get it out here to Trisco, but she cannot handle the pass. And that one will go out of bounds. And possession will go back here to the Dragons. Andrew, they've had a couple sloppy possessions here. They've just mishandled the ball a little bit.
Yeah, that Sauk Center's head coach is not going to like that, Scott Bergman. This is a team that does not make mistakes like that. And, part of it has to do with Pine City's guard play up top, forcing them into, bad passing opportunities.
Meanwhile, Ellie Haas will get the pass down in the paint from Calling, but she's fouled on the way up, so she'll go to the line and shoot two. Our first free throw attempts of the game. I think that is what Pine City might need right now, is just to go in the paint, get those nitty-gritty shots, and whether you get fouled or not, you're still at least putting a basket up in that dirty area.
Yeah.
As Ellie Haas sets up for her first of two, she nails it.
When your shots aren't falling, when you're kind of missing, on the threes or some, just get inside, get some high percentage opportunities, get some confidence back, and then the other shots will start to fall as well.
Absolutely. Sophie Lanti will check in here for Elena Steele as Ellie Haas hits on both of her free throws, and she makes it a 1-point game with under 10 minutes left here on that M Health Fairview Clinic scoreboard. M Health Fairview Clinic Pine City offers full service primary care. Clap Hockey takes it, and she travels, took 1 too many steps, and that is not allowed in basketball.
It's the favorite call of the fans in the crowd. Everything is a travel. They called it as well. This time they were right.
And they are certainly happy with that call. Lily Wilson, she'll take it. She'll drive inside the paint. Look to put up a awkward shot, but it somehow falls in. She was losing control of the ball, and then she just kind of puts up an awkward little front jumper. But she gets it to fall, and now the Dragons have the lead here.
Good shot by Lily. Better to be lucky than good sometimes.
Absolutely, Andrew. And now with it for the Main Streeters is Clap Hockey. Clap Hockey, she'll get it off here to Nelson. Nelson back to Clap Hockey. Now over here to Damon. Damon, Julia Damon, up with it off the front of the rim. No good, but Zen Zen will rebound it here for the Main Streeters. She'll put it up and in for two. Good rebound there by Zen Zen, and she just used her big body to out-muscle the defenders there. Wilson will get it up here to Calling. Calling. Driving, then stops on it and gets it off to Lati. Lati will drive to her left now. She will hand it off. Oh, fakes the handoff, but it gets it stolen away. And now a foul called there on Sauk Center. So luckily, oh, no, the foul was on Pine City.
Yeah, I think they're going to get either Lily here or Sophie on the foul. It's going to be, let's see what they did. But either way, Ted Haas is going to take a timeout.
Well, while they take a timeout, we'll take a timeout as well. You're listening to Girls Basketball here on 100.9 FM WCMP.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings, with expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas. When you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Welcome back here into the Pine City Gymnasium. Pine City has a 1-point deficit right now against the Sauk Center Main Streeters with under 9 to go here in this first half. Main Streeters have it off the inbound. Klophocky will shoot the 3. That's a long rainbow shot off the front of the rim, rebounded here by Lottie. Lottie was going to give it off to someone, but no one was there to take it. So she'll take it herself past half court, get it off to Fowler, now off to Lily Wilson. Lily Wilson, she'll decide to drive, pass it. Oh, she tried to get in the paint to Lottie. She was coming around, and it was a good play idea, but unfortunately Sauk Center's defense was right there all over that one. Klophocky again with it, now to Peschel. Peschel, she'll drive, stops on her drive, gets it out here to Julia Damon. Damon will get it to Klophocky. Klophocky looking for anywhere to go. She passes it off here, nearly stolen away, but she does get it here to McKenna Westby. Westby drives to her left now, gets it off here to Peschel. Peschel will drive. She'll put up the shot against Sophie Lottie, but she gets her a rebound, and that one's up and in for 2. Sophie Lottie just got bumped off of her back pedal a little bit, and it was enough for Peschel to get her own rebound and put it up and in for 2.
Yeah, right now, second chance points got to become a point of emphasis here for Pine City. They've allowed too many of those early on.
Absolutely. Now Lily Wilson with it. She'll drive. He's triple teamed. Pass it off here to Fowler. Fowler will put up the short jumper. She has that one knocked away. And now Peschel will take it up the court here for Sauk Center. Sauk Center gets it. She gets it off to Julia Damon. Damon has that one off the front of the rim. No good. Fowler will pass it off to Lily Wilson. Dragons need to slow things down a little bit. They seem to be rushing things just a tad as Lily Wilson takes that shot, puts it up and in. And Lily Wilson makes me eat my words. But that's okay. I'm okay with being wrong.
It's what good athletes do. They make us broadcasters look dumb time and time again.
Absolutely. Now Sauk Center with it, and McKenna Westby will take the shot. No good. Rebounded here by Lily Wilson. Lily Wilson will take it up the court here. She will drive inside the paint. That one's knocked away, but it was last touched by a Sauk Center player. And you know what? The Main Streeters have done a great job of that all this game so far. They knocked that ball away when Pine City decides to drive inside the paint there. They're getting their hands in there and making sure to not touch anything but the ball.
Yeah, every pass, every shot right now, every dribble has been contested here.
Calling with it now for the Dragons, and she's going to travel.
Yeah, she switched her pivot foot there.
Yep. That one was just a tad obvious on that one. Only a 1-point deficit still here for the Dragons. 14-13 is the score. 6.5 minutes left here in this first half. Peschel will take it up the court here for Sauk Center. She'll pass off here to Klophocky. Klophocky will take the 3. No good off the back of the rim. But rebounded here by Damon. Damon has that one knocked away. And Ellie Haas will take it in here for the Dragons. She'll take it up the court briskly. She'll take it to her right now. Pass it off here. Ashley Fowler. Fowler to Calling. Calling waits, and then she gets it to Fowler. Fowler to Wilson. Wilson will drift to her right and get it in the paint to Calling. Calling will put up a shot, and I'm surprised no call there, and some of the fans were as well, but that's okay because the ball did go out of bounds and it was last touched by the Main Streeters, so Pine City will hold on to possession.
Yeah, lots of contact there, but right now just 2 fouls on Sauk Center, 1 on Pine City. The referees know that these teams are really good defensive teams, and right now they're just going to let them play, and I'm okay with that.
Absolutely, both very good on defense. Sophie Lottie will get the inbound here. She will drive to her right, stop on her drive, then get it to Calling. Elena Steele is checked in here for Lily Wilson. Calling nearly has that one stolen away. Looked like she carried the ball a little bit there, but she gets away with it. Sophie Lottie for 3. Off the rim, no good. That shot was just off the side of the rim there, and the Main Streeters will have it. Peschel now for the Main Streeters. She'll get it here to Westby. Westby back to Peschel. Peschel will get a play call from the coach, and then hand it off here to Maddie Nelson. Maddie Nelson will get out to Zenzen. Zenzen back to Nelson. Nelson will drive. She has that one blocked. Oh, my goodness. They're going to call a foul on Elena Steele. And from my point of view, Andrew, that was all ball.
Yeah, it's interesting that one got chosen to get the call. Elena Steele wants the explanation from the referee. Ted Haas, the same thing.
I think she deserves one because I was watching that ball all the way, and I did not see her get a fingertip on anything but the ball. But unfortunately, she'll get the call there. And Maddie Nelson will go to the line and shoot 2. She hits on her first of 2 Man, just a tough call there for Elena Steele. As I mentioned before, she's kind of the Swiss Army knife here for the Dragons, but just a tough call there as Nelson's second shot will go in.
It's all right, to 16-13. Pine City's right here with them. Sauk Center with the slight advantage in this game, but not by much. And so the Dragons, I like their odds as this game continues to go along.
Absolutely. Still a close game. Still plenty of time to play here. As Elena Steele, she'll take it. She calls out a play here. She'll wait for it to set up, and then she'll get a screen from Lottie. She'll drive in on it. She stops on her drive, and she took too many steps. Just some fundamental errors right now here by the Dragons. They've had quite a few travel calls here in this first half. Just a couple things they got to clean up here, I think, is going to be Haas's message to the team at halftime as we are quickly approaching it.
Well, one thing to note is both of these teams may look a little sloppier than you would think, but these teams are really good defensive teams, so it's less on teams playing sloppy and more on forcing the sloppiness.
I would agree, Andrew, as that shot is up and no good for three. Elena Steele with Hulk-like strength takes it away from the defender and gets the rebound. She'll pass it off here to Calling now. Calling to her right to Fowler. Fowler in the paint here to Ellie Haas. Ellie Haas will back into the defender. She'll drive once, drive twice, and then that one's knocked away. Sauk Center's done that all night and has done a great job. They've kind of lived off that right now. That is how the main reason they've gotten their turnovers on the Dragons. And, she took too many steps, but the ref didn't see it, and now Nelson has a chance to score. She misses on it, and Ellie Steele will get the rebound. Sometimes the refs just aren't in a good position to see it.
I feel bad for that ref because he was standing right next to Ted Haas, and Haas let him know that he missed that call.
Sophie Lottie drives, then she backs it out here to Fowler. Fowler over to Ellie Haas. Haas, she'll drive to her left, then drive inside the paint, tries to put up a shot, has that one blocked, but it goes right into the hands of Sophie Lottie. Sophie Lottie puts that one up, no good. I think there should be that was close. They're letting these two teams play it out, though. And Sauk Center gets a rebound there. And Peschel will put up the shot. That one's no good. That one seemed to rush a little bit. But my goodness, in there for the Main Shooters was Kaylee Trisco. She puts it up, no good. Rebound here by the Dragons. But what a hustle play there by Trisco as Elena Steele will take it here for the Dragons. She has that one poked away now.
It's going to be one of those games where first one to 30 points might win it.
Just might. And they're going to get a foul call on Sauk Center here.
But like I mentioned before, don't look at this score at 16-13 with 3:21 to go in the half. Don't look at that as like two poor teams or poor play. This is two really good defensive teams giving each other just a hard time.
They really are right now. And again, as you mentioned, these are two of the top 10 teams in Class AA here in the state going at it, and they could meet up in the Class AA championship game in the playoffs. But we have to wait and see because we have to get through this game here tonight. Lily Wilson has it here for the Dragons. She will back it out here, then get a screen from Calling. Wilson passes off to Fowler back to Wilson. Wilson will take the short jumper. That one rings around, goes in for two. So Lily Wilson there with another good just short jumper there. And she brings this game back within one. Peschel will take the three. That one looks good, and it is. Peschel with three. I think the Dragons' defense there was kind of waiting for her to pass it off, as she usually does when she gets on that side of the court. But this time, she took advantage of the Dragons' defense there. And now she knocks it away here. Up the court will be Trisco. And they finally get the travel call. These fans wanted one, and they finally get it. And possession will go back to the Dragons. So a travel call.
The Sauk Center Main Shooters right now have about 5 or 6 blocks, and that's what's kind of been the story of the game. Pine City's been able to use their speed to get inside, but Sauk Center's just been swatting the ball away. So the Dragons going to have to figure out a way to get some better looks once they get down inside.
Absolutely, as we haven't seen a whole lot of deep shots here taken by Pine City beyond the arc. So it'll be interesting to see if they try to switch their game plan to that, as they can hit. Each one of these players for this Dragon team can hit from three and beyond, as I've called plenty of Dragons girls games this season, and I've seen it. Lily Wilson, Ashley Fowler, Sophie Lottie, they can all hit from deep three. So it'll be interesting to see if they maybe tend to lean towards that here, maybe at the end of this first half to get things going. And a timeout is going to be called here by the Sauk Center head coach Scott Bergman. And while they take a timeout, we'll take a timeout as well. You're listening to Pine City Girls Basketball on 100.9 FM WCMP.
Are you looking for support for your struggling teen? Introduce them to Treehouse Sandstone. At Treehouse Sandstone, we are on a mission to end hopelessness among teens in Pine County. We provide a safe space for teens to make connections and to talk about what is really going on in their lives. Join us on a Tuesday or Thursday from 6 to 8 at the Treehouse in Sandstone. To learn more or to get a ride, contact us at 763-486-3297 or check out our website at treehousesandstone.org.
M Health Fairview Clinic in Pine City can help your entire family stay healthy, heal from illness and injuries, or manage complex health conditions. Specialties include family medicine, diabetes education, podiatry, and physical therapy. With early morning appointments and 24/7 scheduling online or by phone, M Health Fairview makes it easy to get the care you need. The clinic even offers same-day appointments for when you need care right away. Call 320-629-6721 to make an appointment or visit fairview.org/Pine City.
Welcome back out of the timeout here. The Main Streeters will inbound here with just over 2 minutes left here on that M Health Fairview Clinic scoreboard. M Health Fairview North Branch Urgent Care that is open evenings 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. and weekdays 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every Saturday and Sunday. The three-point shot is no good there, and it will be rebounded here by Elena Steele for the Dragons. She will take it up the court here. Decides to drive and pass it out here to Calling. Calling will drive to her right. She finds a lane. She's going to use it, puts up a shot, and she gets fouled. So I think that's what they might have to start to do, is Calling looks to be hurt here. I'm not sure, and I'm not going to speculate as to what happened. But while she is waiting to get up off the court, we're going to take a commercial break.
Farming doesn't follow an 8-to-5 schedule. A slow week is 60 to 80 hours. My land, livestock, and family rely on me. That's why I bought farm insurance from Auto Owners Insurance, because every policy comes with a local agent. A real person who lives right in my community, who I can rely on to help keep my farm covered no matter what.
Visit Pine Insurance Agency located in the Northridge Center today.
Welcome back here. Meredith Calling was able to get up off under her own power, but she went straight to the locker room, so shooting the free throws for her will be Ashley Fowler. Fowler hits on the first of two, and of course we wish nothing but the best there for Meredith Calling and hope it is nothing serious but a stinger, and hope that she is able to come back here and play in this game. Fowler put up her second two, and she nails them both. So Ashley Fowler hits on both of the free throws there, brings it back within two.
Dragons now back with just one score down, and so a quick turnover here, they can get themselves in the lead before going to halftime.
That's what they will look to do, as their defense is clamped tight on these Main Streeter defenders, or excuse me, offensive players. Cloud Hockey will pass it out here to Peschel. Peschel now over to Westby. Westby to Damon. Damon to Peschel. Peschel to Westby. Westby for three. No good off the back of the rim. Rebounded here by Ellie Haas, but Ellie Haas has that one knocked out of her hands, and it goes out of bounds, but last touch there by the Main Streeters, so got a bit lucky there, did Haas. That's okay, like Andrew, you said, sometimes it's better to be lucky than it is good.
For sure. 19-17 our score. Pine City trailing by 2, minute 7 to go. See if they can get a bucket, a steal, a bucket, take the lead before going into halftime.
And all of these fans have seen it before, as they have had plenty of come-from-behind victories here, as Lily Wilson will drive, put it up, and in for two! My goodness, Lily Wilson, there is just no stopping her once she gets driving. She can make that ball contort any way she wants it to, and she gets that one to fall. Now we're tied here with under a minute. Ellie Haas blocks that pass of Clop Hockey. It goes out of bounds, so it will remain Main Streeter ball.
Lily Wilson, 8 of the Dragons, 19 points. Started off a little slow on the scoreboard, but she's picked it up in the second half of the first half.
Absolutely. Peschel now will pass it off here to Damon. Damon back to Peschel. Peschel off to Clop Hockey. No one guarding her! A high rainbow shot, and it will be off the hands of the Sauk Center player, and it will go the Dragons' way. Now 30 seconds left here in this first half. I would suspect the Dragons will hold on to this ball till the last second and then take the shot. I think right now Ted Haas is okay with going into the second half with a tie game.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's, you're playing one of the number one team, one of the top teams in the state. Yes, you're one of them too, but going into that locker room tied, you're feeling pretty good about yourselves.
Absolutely. Now Lily Wilson, she's going to drive and then pass off here to Fowler. Fowler cannot take. She couldn't pass up on the shot, and unfortunately she missed. 5 seconds left. Pressure off the court with it. She's going to put up the last second shot. It's no good. Rebounded here by Elena Steele. What can't she do? And that will be our halftime score. The Dragons, number 6 in state, playing the number 2 team in state. They are tied right now at halftime, 19-19. Not the usual score you see from these two teams, but I think there would be nothing more expected as two of the top teams in the state face off. We'll take a commercial break here from some of our fine sponsors. When we go back, we'll recap the first half and talk about what these two teams need to do for the second half. You're listening to Dragons Girls Basketball on 100.9 FM WCMP.
Minnesota, it's home. Hot summers at the lake, beautiful falls, snowy winters, and rainy springs. We experience it all. Make sure you're ready to handle whatever this state throws at you with help from Minnesota Equipment in Isani. Minnesota Equipment carries brands you love, like John Deere, Steel, Toro, Gravely zero-turn mowers, and Aaron snowblowers. Their helpful staff can not only get you the equipment you need, but can help you maintain it so it will last. Plus, they carry a full line of farm equipment. Minnesota Equipment in Isani, online at minnesotaequipment.com.
Here, we listen. We engage. Through every stage of life, we provide compassionate care closely tuned to your needs and concerns. From surgery and physical therapy to specialty care and emergency services, Essentia Health Sandstone provides expert, personalized care for the people of Pine County. Here, we take care of each other. Essentia Health, like nowhere else. Call 320-245-5600 or visit essentiahealth.org to learn more.
Perry's Auto Salon in Rush City is your local specialist for all your auto collision repair. Perry's fixes it right the first time. Perry's will take care of all your insurance claims, making it a worry-free experience. Perry's Auto Salon offers state-of-the-art equipment, a downdraft paint booth, expert color matching, computerized frame straightening, and detailing. Towing and rental cars are available, whether it's a little ding or a big bang. Go to the pros at Perry's Auto Salon in Rush City, and you'll be driving home their quality reputation.
Good news! It's home show season. Time to get inspired and make life in your home even better. Great news! You can get $200 off on the revolutionary Kinetico non-electric water treatment system from Aquarius Home Services, your local Kinetico dealer, without even going to the show. With Kinetico, all those rust stains will be gone. No more white scaling or hard water spots. Just sparkling fixtures, softer skin, and drinking water you can trust. The best water of your life all starts with a free water analysis. Visit KineticoMN.com. Aquarius and Kinetico. Brilliantly simple.
Parking lot potholes can keep your customers away. Ugly cracks in your driveway can bring down the value of your house. At Prefer Paving and Ready Mix, project size doesn't matter. Big or small, they pave it all. Prefer Paving and Ready Mix has delivered top quality blacktop asphalt paving for housing divisions, commercial developments, industrial parks, recreational projects, and city and county streets, as well as smaller projects such as residential driveways and parking lots. From quote to completion, rely on Prefer Paving and Ready Mix in Rush City.
Welcome back here inside the Pine City Gymnasium. This game is tied between two of the top 10 teams in Class 2A. It's 19-19 all here at halftime on that M Health Fairview Clinic scoreboard. M Health Fairview Clinics, Pine City and North Branch that have convenience, that there for you for your convenience and have same day and evening appointments. My goodness.
Spit it out, Ethan.
That first half was action-packed and my tongue wasn't ready for this calming period here. But let's take a look at some of these scores here. For Sauk Center, leading the way for them was Audrey Zenzen with 6, and then Tori Peschel with 5. On the other side for the Pine City Dragons, leading the way was Lily Wilson. As Andrew mentioned, she kind of got off to a slow start there, but in the second half of the first half, she really got hot, and it almost seemed like she had some sort of powers over the ball in which she could do anything she wanted, and it would go in the net.
Yeah, the couple of shots she had, they didn't look pretty by any stretch of the imagination. They by no means should have gone in by any, I'm sure anybody in this building that's a basketball coach, including her own, kind of grimaced a little bit at the different angles she was trying to shoot from. But when the ball goes in the net, you just kind of shrug your shoulders and say, hey, you're not going to be upset.
Right, exactly. I mean, she has done a very good job this entire season. Surprisingly, though, Ellie Haas, their leading scorer, she averages about 18, only has 2 there in that first half, so Sauk Center's done a great job of shutting her down. Not only have they shut her down, they've shut this team's 3-point shots down. I think we've only seen one go in here for the Dragons. Other than that, I think they've missed, and I don't think they attempted that many either. So Sauk Center doing a good job there on the defensive side of the ball. Of course, they are out rebounding Pine City just by an edge here, especially on the Dragons' offensive side of the glass. On the defensive side of the glass, I'd say it's pretty even both ways because the Dragons, they have made the Main Streeters take those long 3-pointers, and they have been strong underneath that glass there, Andrew.
Yeah, if I'm Ted Haas, there's a couple messages I got. One is no more second chance points. Got to cut down on those. And then, just clean up the little things. It's no more turnovers once you get inside the lane. Hit some of you've had a couple open looks and they've missed them, but those are going to come. I'm not worried about that. But my main message is, look, this is the number 1 team in our section. This is a top 5 team in the state. Everybody knows Sauk Center is a good team if statewide because they're always in that state tournament. They're not quite sure about Pine City because they haven't seen them quite yet play at this level. And look, they're showing, hey, we're right up here with these guys. We should be in that conversation for the best in the state right now because, we're tied with a team that is considered one of the best in the state. So we should also be in that conversation. And all you got to do, come out here, you got the home court advantage, use the energy from the fans, and finish strong.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk here for a few keys here for this Pine City squad. I think, like you mentioned, you just got to start hitting on those open shots, and really you can't turn the ball over once you get it in your own paint. That's tough because you have at least a foul opportunity to go to the free throw line at the very least, but when you get the turnover, that turns into no opportunity. But I think there you got to, driving inside the paint is a great idea for the Dragons, but they got to stop the turnovers on the defensive side of the ball. It's been pretty good. Of course, only 19 points, but I think we've seen too many open looks there on the 3-point line for the Main Streeters, and I'm sure Ted Haas mentioned that there in their halftime meeting. I think they got to make sure they're tightening up their defense a little bit, but also crashing that defensive glass because that is where their money has come from tonight. They have, I would say, out-rebounded the Main Streeters on that side of the ball by a large margin. I think the Main Streeters have only gotten a couple offensive rebounds off of their shots. So, but that goes both ways because the Main Streeters have done much of the same to the Dragons. So I think a lot of the same gets put back in, but I think it's going to be a different flow here for the Dragons in this second half.
You saw each team only scored 19 points in this first half, and I'm kind of 50-50. Part of me says, all right, this might be a 35-34 game when we're done with it. And there's another side that says, these teams are really good at defense. Guess what? They could score some points too. So don't be surprised if we see a whole different showing here, and maybe these teams get hot from 3, and we end up with a high-flying, high-scoring second half.
Absolutely. Both these teams are not top 10 in Class 2A for no reason. We'll take a commercial break. We'll hear a word from our fine sponsors, and when we come back, we should be ready for the second half of action here in this game between Pine City and Sauk Center. You're listening to Girls Basketball on WCMP.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Who welcomes change? Actually, we all do. We'll love it when the kids are done with diapers, and when the rash goes away, and when mom gets the new knee. That's the kind of name here as First Light changes its name. The new name is Wellia Health, as in welcome and wellness. And, well, what are you waiting for? Do stop by and check us out. Wellia Health, online at WELIAhealth.org. Live life well.
If you've been injured in an auto accident or have sustained other personal injury, you don't have to leave town to get good representation. Spear and Swanson attorneys at law in Pine City are experienced and will work on your case with no fee until they get you money. They also handle divorce and custody cases, criminal defense, including DWI and other legal matters. Spear and Swanson is your local law firm that cares about you. So if you need legal representation or advice, call 320-629-7586. Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. Well, you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get-there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back here into the Pine City Gymnasium. We're just about set here for second half action, with the score tied at 19 on that M Health Fairview Clinic scoreboard. M Health Fairview Clinics with convenient on-site pharmacies in Rush City and North Branch. The team's got their final word of encouragement here. They are out on the court, and the Main Streeters will inbound it here. Peschel will inbound it to Damon. Damon back to Peschel. Peschel back to Damon. That is Damon, excuse me. She'll take the three-point shot. No good. So Elena Steele will get the rebound. She'll take it up the court. She'll drive, then pass it off here to Ashley Fowler. Fowler to Ellie Haas. Haas to Wilson. Wilson drives to her left and gets it back to Haas. Haas on the stutter step. Then she drives, passes it back here to Fowler. Fowler over to Sophie Lachie. Sophie Lachie for three. That one's no good. Rebounded by Elena Steele. Elena Steele, she is just so quick. You can never be safe when she's around, but unfortunately she gives it up there to Peschel. Peschel will hand it off here to Klopp Hockey. Klopp Hockey thought about driving it in, then backs it out here to Peschel. Peschel for three. No good. Rebounded again by Elena Steele.
It's funny when you got a person whose name you've been calling all the time. Usually they're the leading scorer, and Elena Steele with no points tonight, but she's doing everything else.
Absolutely. She drives now in the paint. She gets that one taken away by Klopp Hockey. And Klopp Hockey will drive on Elena Steele, not quite past half court. And now she does get past half court, but that one was tipped by Elena Steele. And now Klopp Hockey will drive all the way to the net. That one's no good. Rebounded here by, looks like, the Main Streeters. That one is rebounded there by Damon. Damon puts up the shot. No good. Rebounded by who else? Elena Steele. Now she'll take it up the court here for the Dragons. She'll get a screen, now pass it back to Ellie Haas, who the screen was from. Sophie Lottie on the drive. Now she passes it back here to Lily Wilson. Lily Wilson thought about driving, then pass it here to Ellie Haas. Haas to Fowler. Fowler will drive to her left, get it to Elena Steele, who's going to put it up for three. No good on the three, and the Dragons didn't even look like they wanted to attempt to try for a rebound there. And I think that's one thing that's going to have to change. And they're going to call a double dribble there on Klopp Hockey. So the Dragons will get the ball back. But Andrew, on that rebound attempt, the Dragons didn't even look like they tried to go for the ball there. They look confused.
Yeah, I think Sauk Center kind of had it, the ball pinned down. Not really worth risking an over-the-back foul, and, just kind of go the other way and play defense.
And they did, and it works out for them. Now Lily Wilson, she'll drive with it. Pass it out here to Elena Steele. Elena Steele's going to take her second three-point shot of the game. No good. Rebounded nearly by Sophie Lottie. But that one is taken in there by Klopp Hockey for the Main Streeters.
Both teams have gotten some good looks. No points still in the second half.
Nearly stolen away there by the Dragons. But that one gets to Damon, and Damon goes to the basket. She gets fouled. She'll go to the line and shoot two. First foul of the second half here for either team. Both defenses still very hot here, as no points have been scored. Damon's first shot is up, no good.
Just the second foul on Elena Steele. I think she's the only player from either team that's got more than one foul.
It has been a very clean game here tonight. Of course, the refs have let a couple things play out. And that one's stolen away now by Damon for the Main Streeters. She'll get it down to Peschel. Peschel had a wide open lane, then took a second to dribble it, but she waits for the defender to go by. She puts it up and in for two.
Little spin move there.
Lily Wilson up the court with it for the Dragons. She gets it off here to Haas. Haas back to Wilson. Wilson on the close side. Now she gets it to Elena Steele. Steele here to Fowler. Fowler to Ellie Haas. Haas back to Fowler. Fowler to Steele. Steele to Haas inside the paint. Oh, no call there. And I think the ref missed one there, Andrew.
Oh, man, Haas is heated right now, along with a lot of the fans here. Definitely that was a foul.
That was a tough no call there as Peschel goes down all the way and scores 6-point lead now for the Main Streeters. That's a tough break there for the Dragons.
Nothing you can do about it, though. You got to shake it off and play basketball.
Absolutely. Pine City, as they have all the second half, get themselves into a tough situation there where they get about triple team on one player, and then a turnover happens, and that's what's been happening this entire second half. And it almost happened again there, but Wilson, before the Main Streeters could grab it, she was fouled, and she had a word to say to the ref after that one.
Dragons here getting a little different look out there. She's trying to try something new offensively because nothing's really working.
Wilson will get it in here to Chloe Lynn. Chloe Lynn goes up like Odell Beckham Jr. to take that one down. She'll get off here to Ellie Haas. Ellie Haas has that one tipped away. And now Haas will call a timeout here to calm these girls down. And while they take a timeout, we'll take a timeout as well. You're listening to girls basketball on 100.9 FM WCMP.
When Morris Chevrolet Buick says the deals are better here, they mean it. That's why they're offering Morris Chevrolet Buick's best price on a 2019 Buick Encore for just $24,570, or get 0% interest for 72 months on approved credit. Morris Chevrolet Buick is home to the Guaranteed Auto Finance program, and they have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in the area, so they will get you into your next new or pre-owned car or truck. See dealer for details. Morris Chevrolet Buick. The deals are better here.
Welcome back here inside the Pine City Gymnasium. Lily Wilson out of the timeout, gets it here to Lottie. Lottie to Fowler. Fowler drives to her left, gets it to Chloe Lynn. Lynn guarded well there. Gets it off to Wilson. Wilson drives and stops. Looking, she passes it to Fowler. Fowler back to Wilson. Wilson being very careful, as I just about mentioned, she's being careful with the ball. Ellie Haas couldn't corral the pass. And it's a turnover here to the Main Streeters.
This is why Sauk Center gives so many teams problems. It's that turnovers up top.
Peschel will drive, no good. And it looked like Fowler got fouled there, and they're finally going to call it. I think she got fouled on the rebound, but they call it as she comes down with it.
So 25-19 right now. Sauk Center up by 6, 13-20 to go. Dragons still looking for their first bucket of the second half, so let's see what they try to get going offensively coming out of that timeout.
I think, Andrew, that has to stop, though. The turnovers, that does not help your team at all, and that is what they've been struggling with. And somehow, some way, Peschel gets that one around the Dragon defender and gets it up and in for two. I don't know how Peschel got that one in there, but she did. So now Haas with it. They need to, I think, the Dragons do need to open up that three-point shot, and Sophie Lottie will get it started, but it wins in and out. Rebounded here by the Dragons, Lind. She'll get it to Fowler. Fowler now to Wilson. I think they got to go back to that three-point shot here, Andrew. I think they got plenty of shooters who can hit it. Now Haas will try to drive and use her strength in the paint. No good. Rebounded here by the Main Streeters.
I'd like to see Lily Wilson maybe get back into this game. You know, she ended that second half so well, and I don't know if she's attempted a shot here in the second half. Maybe she needs to take something off the dribble drive and see what she can do.
This Main Streeter team showing their strength now as Nelson will drive. She'll put it up. Oh, in for that one goes off front of the rim. No good, but she's fouled. And she'll go to line and shoot two.
Now they got a chance here to take a double-digit lead, does Sauk Center, with 12:15 to go.
Nelson with the first shot. That one's up and in. Good on her first of two. Setting up for her second of two now. She'll put that one up and in. So Nelson hits on both of the free throws there, and she'll give the Main Streeters a 10-point lead. Lily Wilson up the court with it. She's getting double teamed. Now she passes it in the paint to Solati. Beautiful play, beautiful pass. And that is the first bucket for the Dragons here in this second half. And that's how you get things started.
Yeah, great feed from Wilson and a good finish there from Lottie. That's what the Dragons needed. A little confidence booster here.
So Damon over to Westby. Westby now back to Damon. Damon to Peschel. Peschel has been a problem here for the Dragons in this second half as she gets it here to Nelson. Nelson back to Peschel. Peschel to Nelson. Nelson for three. Off the mark, no good. Rebound by the Main Streeters, and a shot was put up by Damon and no good. And Ellie Haas took that one away. She seemed a little upset there she didn't get a call. And then Sophie Lottie with a three there. And she'll bring this game back within 5. So Haas ripped it away from the Main Streeter offensive player, took it down the court, fed it to Lottie, and Lottie hit on that shot for 3 and made him pay. Peschel now for 3, no good. Rebounded by Lottie. Lottie might just start to take over this game here. If she gets hot, there is no stopping her, as we have seen much this season. Fowler, Wilson. Wilson now has it. She'll drop back a little bit, and she'll pass it to Ellie Haas. Ellie Haas looks to drive into the paint. She drives and puts up the shot, and she's fouled. And that's what I think the Dragons need to do here, is look to get those fouls inside the paint, because I think this team is good enough from the free throw line to where if they can get a couple of these Main Streeter players in some foul trouble, they can get themselves to the line and start mounting a comeback just from the free throw line.
Love this reaction from the Dragons. They went down by 10 points. They saw this deficit go down to 10, and they thought, a lot of teams could hang their head and go, oh, crap, here we go. They're going to run away with this game. And the Dragons did the exact opposite. They put the pedal down, and now she hits this free throw, and they're back to a one-score game.
So Haas at the line. She hits her first of 2 now for her second. That one rolls off front of the rim, much like the first one did, but this one will not fall. And still a 4-point game. 2 possessions here. But easily overcomable by the Dragons, and Lottie blocks that one, and she steals it away. Gets it to Lily Wilson up the court. Lily Wilson will drive to her right. Stop on her dribble, give it to Chloe Lind. Lind will drive to her left, get it to Lottie. Lottie with a nice, nifty move. She'll drive inside the paint, get it out to Ellie Haas. Ellie Haas for 3. Off the back of the rim. That one's knocked out of bounds. It will remain Pine City ball. Great passing there by the Dragons. Sophie Lottie had a great move there on the defender. She juked her out of her shoes almost. She might need to check and see if she needs some duct tape on her shoes. But great drive there by the Dragons. Even though the shot didn't go in and the ball went out of bounds, that was the offensive possession, I think, that we were looking for from the Dragons here.
Yeah, Dragons move the ball around really quickly, and Haas wants a timeout, a full timeout here, just to kind of, they're playing really well, and I think now it's just to kind of get a little bit more offensive plays drawn up and try to figure out how you can turn this good play and keep it going. A lot of times you see when your team is struggling, they'll take a timeout, but I think now he just wants to gather his team back together, say, hey, we're right back in this game. Let's keep playing strong.
Absolutely. This team, much like they have all season, has come back from deficits to win games. Now, I think this is the deepest it has ever gone into the second half, where they've had a large deficit like they just did with 10 points, but they rattled off 5 straight there. They rattled off, really. It was 19, so it was 6
straight, yeah.
My math eludes me sometimes, Andrew. I was not an A student in math, so forgive me, everybody, as my math sometimes does fail to compute.
It's all right. We'll forgive you this time.
But after the timeout there, we come back, and Lily Wilson will inbound it here for the Dragons. And they're hot right now, so they might just start to get hot and be dangerous from here on out, as the inbound is to Ellie Haas. Haas to Wilson. Wilson will jack the long 3. No good. May have rushed that offensive drive just a tad. Clop Hockey on with the ball here for the Main Streeters. She'll pass it off here to Trisco. Trisco will drive, and that was no good. Oh, they're going to say last touch by Dragon as that one rolls out of bounds. Looked like it might have went off her body as it went out of bounds, but the ref says that it did not, so it will remain Sauk center ball. Peschel will inbound it here. She'll inbound it here to Damon. Damon to Peschel. Peschel has a wide open lane. She drives. That one's up and in for 2, and she gets fouled, so she'll go to the line and have a chance at a 3-point play.
Tough break for the Dragons. Good move inside from Peschel. She has been dominant in the second half. Up to 13 points. Hits the free throw. She can make it 14, and most of those have come in the second half.
They really have. She puts up the shot here. She makes it. So Peschel gets the 3-point play there. With under now 10 minutes left here in this game on that M Health Fairview Clinic scoreboard. M Health Fairview Clinic Pine City that also has a full-service rehab department including physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech, and cardiac rehab. The 3-point shot is no good from Wilson. She cannot believe that just happened. That one went about halfway down in the basket and then came rattling out.
Yeah, the rim's not been too friendly to Pine City here the last couple minutes.
It has not, and looked like a travel there by Peschel, but not going to be called, as Elena Steele will take it up the court here for the Dragons. She'll stop, set up a play, wait for the players to get in place. She'll get to Fowler. Fowler will put up the 3. She sinks it! Fowler for 3! And she sinks that one, and she brings it back to a 4-point game here for the Dragons.
It's now 8 points on the night for Ashley Fowler.
Crop hockey over here to McKenna Westby, and she answers with a 3 of her own. So the Main Streeters say, we see your 3, here's one for you. And Lily Wilson is fouled on the way to the basket. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. Something that I've kind of noticed here in this second half here, Andrew, they've really allowed these girls to play kind of aggressive here. I don't know if they've necessarily missed on some foul calls as they have just let it play out.
Yeah.
And that's okay to the top teams. Sometimes you just want to let it play out, see how it plays. So far, so good as this action has everyone on the edge of their seats. Lily Wilson hits her first of 2 free throws. And not good on the second. So she hits on only her first of 2. That's her first point of this second half. So surprisingly, only 1 point to this point in the second half. Now to Zenzen, and Zenzen will put up the 2. Lily Wilson up the court here. Still plenty of time left in this game. As Elena Steele, she'll drive, pass it out here to Fowler. Fowler fakes the 3, drives, gets it to Sophie Lottie. Lottie drives, then gets it off to Lily Wilson. Lily Wilson, I thought, had a chance at 3. She doesn't take it. She'll pass it over to Fowler. Fowler over to Elena Steele. Elena Steele's double team now. She gets it here to Fowler. Fowler off to Wilson, but that one's, oh my goodness.
Say last touched here by Wilson on the near side.
I did not see where it touched Wilson.
Yeah, I don't know. Ref was right there, though, so.
Well, we'll have to trust his word, but from up here, I did not see where it would have even glanced Wilson. But we'll stick with what the referee says, and the Main Streeters will take over with the ball here.
Dragons trailing by 8 with 8 minutes left.
Westby with another 3. My goodness. McKenna Westby. That's her second 3 of this second half, and she has looked great from 3. Lottie with the ball. She'll pass it to Fowler. Fowler here to Wilson. Wilson will put up the 3. I think that's what he needs to do. And it rattles in and out, but it finally falls there for Lily Wilson. I was just about to say, I think the Dragons need to get the 3-point shot going here to get back in this game, and they do, and that was stolen away by Wilson, and now Wilson gets fouled. So Wilson saying to herself, that's okay. I'll take over here. I'll help any way I can, as all of these players for the Dragons are just team players all in all. They all do a great job of helping each other out. It doesn't matter who scores where or when, as long as they're winning. That's what this team is about. Lily Wilson up the court with it here for the Dragons.
She's now up to 12 points on the night, and a 40-32 deficit for Pine City.
Ellie Haas on the drive, and yep, she's getting a foul. I thought they were going to call a travel there. She kind of stumbled as she got the pass there from Wilson, and then as she stumbled, it looked like she got a foul called against the defender.
Yeah, they called a blocking call there. Kind of impeded Haas as she went into the lane.
The Dragons will take it, though, nonetheless, as Elena Steele will give it off here to Wilson. Wilson to Haas. Haas here to Lottie. Excuse me, that was Haas. But now it's off to Wilson. Wilson will get it to Elena Steele. Elena Steele, she'll drive. She drives, stops her drive, puts that one up, no good. It's blocked here by Clop Hockey. And now Elena Steele, I think, just a frustration foul there as she bumps a little hard into Clop Hockey. And Haas is going to give Elena Steele a word of encouragement. Maybe just to say, hey, I get you're frustrated, but let's calm down. We're still in this game. Plenty of time to come back here.
Yeah, I've been there before. You get blocked, and you just want to do everything you can to steal that ball right back. So the foul there on Elena Steele. It's her third. She's going to have to be careful here with 6:28 to go.
Absolutely. But the Sauk Center Main Streeters are one foul away from putting Pine City into the 1-and-1 situation. So maybe for Pine City, look to get yourselves into that as Peschel will drive, and she'll put up a 2-point shot, and it is in.
Back to a 10-point lead to Sauk Center. Pine City needs one of those runs.
They're going to need a run here, a very big one, too, I think, to get back in this one because the Main Streeters, they aren't looking to stop scoring. They're very good on offense. Elena Steele will drive. She'll put up an awkward shot. Rings around the rim, but it falls in. And she finally gets on the board here, Andrew. Those are her first points of the game. That pass there to Westby was over her head. So the ball will go back here to the Dragons.
Yeah, Steele picked a good time to get on the scoreboard as the Dragons needed it. 8-point games, 5:40 left to go.
So Lily Wilson will take it to the court here for the Dragons. She spins around, and luckily I don't think that ball meant to come out of her hands, but it does, and she'll give it to Fowler, and then Fowler gets it to Lily Wilson, and Fowler will try to get the rebound, but great job there by the Main Streeters to just block off the ball. And now Westby has it. Westby to Peschel. Peschel has been a thorn in the Dragons' side, but she misses on the first one, but then Damon will score two off the rebound, and
get a whistle here. I think somebody called a timeout. Looks like it's going to be, I think, Sauk Center called a timeout.
So Sauk Center will call a timeout here. 5:08 left on that M Health Fairview Clinic scoreboard. M Health Fairview Clinic Rush City with virtual clinic in the pharmacy building, there to assist you on Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays. 10-point game here, Andrew. 34-44, still a low-scoring game, but not the 35 we thought it might be. The Main Streeters got hot early in that first half. They've cooled off a little bit, but they have still scored when needed and have prevented the Dragons from really coming back here and making a run. But I think a little bit of it has to go fault on the Dragons. I think they've held themselves from mounting a big comeback.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Pine City trailing by 10. What do they draw up coming out of this timeout? Because they need to put some points together. They need to do it quickly. There's still 5 minutes left. There's a lot of time, but you got to get something going offensively here if you're the Dragons because, you know, like you said earlier, Sauk Center's not slowing down. So Pine City need to string a couple good buckets together, get a couple good possessions together, and turn this back into a ball game.
And, of course, the Main Streeters aren't looking to really stop scoring, so I think I don't know if the Dragons right now can stop them because they're so good in the paint. So maybe look to stop them from scoring on every offensive possession, maybe on every other. Start a comeback like you mentioned, Andrew. Get yourselves back within two, or maybe even tie this game, and then start opening those three-pointers. Just let them fly because they're going to hit sooner than later. This team is so good from three-point range. As Lottie there will get it to Fowler. Fowler will get it to Wilson, and Wilson has that one go out of her hands, but it was last touched by the defender, Maddie Nelson.
Yeah, these Dragons have had a lot of minutes. We haven't seen too much of the bench here in the second half, so let's see what their conditioning's like here as we go down the wire.
It will be a very close game. And Elena Steele, she'll just find the open lane, use it, and she is so quick. If she gets one step, even a half a step past you, it is goodbye. Now driving in the paint, but the pass is intercepted there, and it will be taken up the court by Elena Steele.
Allie Haas tipped that pass right into the hands of Fowler.
Now Steele, very smart job of stopping on her drive and then passing it out to Lily Wilson. Lily Wilson, that ball nearly was out of her reach, but fortunately for her, she grabbed it in. Now Haas, she'll drive inside the paint, then pass out to Lottie. Lottie's not afraid to take those shots that she just passed up on in the face of a defender. She'll get it out to Fowler now. Fowler to Steele, who's past the three-point line. Now she'll drive, and that one off of her hands, but goes to Sophie Lati, and Lati, there it is, the 3-point shot. She might start to heat up now. It's now back down to a 5-point game.
Yeah, it's just the classic dribble it off your foot to your teammate to distract the defender and allow Lottie to shoot a 3, just like they drew it up.
I'm sure that's exactly how they drew it up in there on their timeout there, Andrew. But nonetheless, it does work. Nelson with it for the Main Streeters. Gets it to Plop Hockey, back to Nelson. Nelson over to Damon. Damon now to Nelson. Nelson to Westby. Westby tries to drive, then hands it to Nelson. Nelson for 3. No good on the 3. And that's got to be an over-the-back call. It won't be, but it goes out of bounds and last touch there by the Main Streeters. Damon got over the back of Wilson. And I thought in basketball that was an over-the-back call. But again, they're letting these players play it out. And
yeah, unless it's an egregious call. You're not going to get it right now. And that's okay. Let them play. Pine City now has the ball regardless. They can cut this back to a 1-score game.
Absolutely. That might fuel a better foul. Sophie Lati, misses on it, but it's rebounded by Fowler. She'll get another chance. This one looks good. It is! Sophie Lati from 3. She's getting hot right now. With under 3 minutes left, it's a 2-point game.
Lati with 15 as she buries the second chance shot.
In the paint, that was knocked away, but it will remain Main Streeters' ball. The momentum, Andrew, you can kind of feel it right now in this gym, has completely shifted over to the Pine City side of the ball because right now they are hot.
44-42, 2:45 to go. Dragons trail by 2, and finally the gym here is come alive a little bit.
These fans are loud, and when the fans get going, they're hard to stop. The Main Streeters do score there, and that's okay because you just had a run there of about 6 points, and if you can do that and then only let them score a 2, that'll help you as Lily Wilson gets fouled. She'll go to the line for 2. So again, like I mentioned, I think they just need to get on a run. You don't necessarily need to stop Sauk Center from scoring, but just stop them from scoring on every offensive possession. Get a run like you did, and they were right back within 2. Unfortunately, they gave up the bucket, but that's okay because Lily Wilson at the line, oh my goodness, that's no good on that one.
That's a big foul, Ethan, for 2 reasons. One, Dragons will shoot the 1-and-1 the rest of the way out. That's also the 4th foul on Tori Peschel, who has 18 points. She's been the leading scorer for Sauk Center, and so if they get that 5th foul, she's done.
Meanwhile, Lily Wilson hits on her second of 2, brings back within the 3. Again, like you mentioned, Andrew, they are in the 1-and-1, so I think if you're the Dragons right now, you start to drive inside the paint to hope to get those fouls. Blocked there by Ellie Haas. That's a no, they're not going to call it jump ball. Instead, Peschel has it, and it's green ball. It looked like that ball was on the line as Peschel tried to get it. It was, and Green will have the ball, so the Dragons will take over with possession here. Lily Wilson up the court with it. 2 minutes left in this game. Elena Steele, she's going to drive. That's got to be a foul. No foul called. Unreal. If I've ever seen a foul, that was it. And no call there, Elena Steele. Now they're going to call Elena Steele for a foul. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I think there was a missed opportunity. Oh.
Fans here in Pine City not happy with that because, I mean, man, that's a tough one for Elena Steele. She goes inside, draws a lot of contact, just like she's trying to do. Doesn't get the call, turns around, kind of does the same thing she did before, a little frustration. Now Steele's got 4, and so she's got to be careful.
Elena Steele was not fouled. She was triple teamed, and I think about every one of those girls touched her. And now up for the 3 is Maddie Nelson for the Main Streeters. That rebound is going to be taken in by the Main Streeters. My goodness.
That's a great hustle play there by Tori Peschel to keep that ball alive for Sauk Center.
Some unfortunate events here happening for the Dragons. Some no calls, some calls. But it doesn't matter. Still a 3-point game. You're still plenty of time left to get back in this one. Your team can shoot 3s from anywhere. Don't panic now, I think is the message here for the Dragons, as they let Westby wide open. That can happen. So now it's a 6-point game. Still no time to panic. Over a minute left. Elena Steele. Don't rush it here. Sophie Lati, just set it up. Get it here. Now to Fowler. Fowler, she'll drive.
49-43, minute to go.
Elena Steele, she'll drive. Oh, she trips on it. And it's stolen away there. Almost stolen back. But unfortunately, and looked like Peschel there gave a little bit of a stiff arm. I don't know if that was necessarily allowed, but that's okay. Still plenty of time here. I think if you're the Dragons now, you might have to start fouling here, and Lily Wilson does.
Yeah, 6-point game, 40 seconds left. You got to put some pressure on because you need to come out and give yourself a chance because you need a few buckets here.
Lily Wilson with her first foul of the game. I think you got to foul right away if you're the Dragons. I don't know how that wasn't a foul.
Yeah, Lena can't foul, so somebody else got to come up and do it.
I thought maybe Sophie Lati did, but she did not apparently, and Ellie Haas will, it looks like.
A lot of time run off there for Sauk Center as they head to the 1-and-1.
That's what I was thinking there, Andrew, and too much time, I think, as it will be. It looks like I cannot see the number, but if I think correctly, it is Damon.
Yeah, so Julia Damon heads to the line.
And she will shoot 2. So the main shooters aren't worried about a rebound here. They really don't care. They're just worried about defending here. Lily Haas will get past the defender. It's still a 6-point game. You got to go, though. You have to go. Sophie Lati passes it over to Fowler. Fowler, somebody's got to put up a shot here. 20 seconds now. And that is in for 2. 45-49. Now 17 seconds left. This is going to be close here, Andrew.
Yeah, this is good. This is exactly what you want for Pine City. You know, you are right in this game. You're down by 4, and you are playing. This is why you put Sauk Center on the schedule. You don't have to put this game on the schedule, but look, this is the type of game you're going to see in the playoffs. You know, maybe the first game Pine City might be able to pull away, but right away in that second game, you're going to have games like this. And so this experience for this final 17 seconds is going to be crucial for the Dragons coming down the stretch.
Absolutely, and they'll face many teams like Albany, Melrose, and of course this Sauk Center team. And they could easily play this Sauk Center team again in the section playoffs, maybe even in that section championship. It'll be interesting because this section is deep, but the top, I'd say, 6 teams are very, very, very tough.
Yeah, going back to last year, the section championship was number 6 seeded Pine City against number 4 seed Albany. So just because, you know, you get the 1 or the 2 doesn't guarantee you a spot in that section championship game.
Absolutely. I'm sure Sauk Center certainly wanting to keep their number 1 seed. I think even with the loss here, looking at the QRF standings, they would keep their number 1 seed, but Pine City, if they do get the win here, they should jump up. Just like that, inbound pass is out of bounds. That is huge for the Dragons here. Just over the head of Peschel, goes out of bounds, and now the Dragons.
That's a two-sided thing. One, that ball never got touched. That clock didn't move at all, and you get possession back. 17 seconds, trailing 49-45.
So here we go. Lily Wilson, she'll inbound it here. You're okay with taking 2 here. And Ellie Haas, oh no, off front of her, and that's not how you want to do it, and she'll foul right away. Smart play there by Ellie Haas.
Not a bad look for Haas. She spun inside, got a good look at the rim, and just missed it.
I think she saw the open net there, Andrew, and she was so shocked at how open she was. She might have just not put enough power behind her shot.
Yeah, she kind of was dribbling a little, kind of got off kilter when she was going inside too.
And that is okay, as Westby will be at the line. The fans are all in this. 10 seconds. Up to Elena Steele. You got to get up the court quickly. Set it up now. You got to pass it here. You got to get it to someone. 4 seconds. Oh my goodness. Too much time taken off the clock there, Andrew. 1 second left. Unfortunately, the Pine City Dragons will fall in this one. They can only dress the score at this point. Yep. They can get it within 1, but it's not going to be enough. Yep. Unfortunately, there. I thought should have been a quicker dribble up the court there, but unfortunately, maybe just not the setup they were looking for.
Yeah, that's just kind of what we talked about, though. A lot of times you don't play. The Dragons haven't played from behind in a situation like this. As Wilson hits the first free throw, they have yet. They've lost 1 game as they'll take a timeout. Set something up here. They, like I said, they have not played in a game this season where they've had to play in a close game from behind. The lone loss to Hutchinson wasn't a close game like this. And so, not paying attention to the clock and knowing that, hey, we got 10 seconds, we're down by 4, we got to launch a shot immediately. That's what, like I said before, I don't want to keep saying the same thing over again, but this is why this game is on the schedule. You know it's going to be a close game, and you can learn from these little mistakes, and that'll help you into the playoffs.
Absolutely. I think one thing that is key here to look at for the Dragons, they never gave up in this game. They were down by 10 points twice here in this second half, Andrew, and they never gave in. They never backed off. They kept fighting, and they brought it back within 2 at one point. Right now it's a 3-point game, and unfortunately they can only dress the score here with 1 second left.
Well, I think what they might try to do, let's see if Haas, there's two ways you could do this. You could try to do the turnover like you did just a little bit ago. Or Lily Wilson could smack it off the rim as hard as she can, try to get it come out to somebody that's going to try to shoot a three.
Very possible. We could see it.
We'll see what they try to do. But she could smack it off the rim as hard as she can and have it come back.
And that's what she'll do. It won't be hard enough. And
no, that's a very low percentage play. Clock hits 0. Dragon's going to fall 49-46. But, nothing to hang your head about because you were in it against a top team in the state.
Absolutely here, Andrew. Well, we'll take a quick commercial break here. We'll recap this game here when we come back. You're listening to Girls Basketball on 100.9 FM, WCMP.
Daggett's Fresh Foods wants to welcome all their new Pine City customers. Come up to Hinckley and get greeted with a smile when you walk in. You'll feel right at home as they help you put food on your family's plates. They only stock their store with the highest quality meats and produce available, so you know you're getting the best. One of their friendly staff members will be there to help you check out and carry your groceries to your car. When purchasing food for your family, don't settle. Shop your local, high-quality grocery store, Daggett's Fresh Foods in Hinckley.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings, with expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas. When you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Are you looking for support for your struggling teen? Introduce them to Treehouse Sandstone. At Treehouse Sandstone, we are on a mission to end hopelessness among teens in Pine County. We provide a safe space for teens to make connections and to talk about what is really going on in their lives. Join us on a Tuesday or Thursday from 6 to 8 at the Treehouse in Sandstone. To learn more or to get a ride, contact us at 763-486-3297 or check out our website at treehousesandstone.org.
M Health Fairview Clinic in Pine City can help your entire family stay healthy, heal from illness and injuries, or manage complex health conditions. Specialties include family medicine, diabetes education, podiatry, and physical therapy. With early morning appointments and 24/7 scheduling online or by phone, M Health Fairview makes it easy to get the care you need. The clinic even offers same-day appointments for when you need care right away. Call 320-629-6721 to make an appointment or visit fairview.org/Pine City.
Farming doesn't follow an 8-to-5 schedule. A slow week is 60 to 80 hours. My land, livestock, and family rely on me. That's why I bought farm insurance from Auto Owners Insurance, because every policy comes with a local agent. A real person who lives right in my community, who I can rely on to help keep my farm covered no matter what.
Visit Pine Insurance Agency located in the Northridge Center today.
Welcome back here inside the Pine City Gymnasium. The Dragons do fall here in this game, 46-49, but a well-fought game there by the Dragons. Leading the way for the Dragons was Sophie Lottie. She came alive in that second half. She finishes with 14, and then Lily Wilson, she finishes with 14. Also with double digits was Ashley Fowler, who had 10 there. Andrew, this was a tough game. But as you mentioned, this is why you schedule this game. This is the number one team in the section, and this is more than likely a team you could face again in the playoffs. But again, this was a tough game, not the way they wanted it to go. But again, this is why you have it there.
Yeah, I spend most of my time watching Dragon hockey, and the Dragon hockey team did the exact same thing. They scheduled a game against Duluth Denfeld that last week of the season. Same thing. And talking to Grant Nickel, and I'm sure Ted Haas will make the same statement. A game like this at the end of the year, even if you lose it, it does so much more for you than scheduling somebody else and beating them by 30, going into the playoffs, because this is what playoff basketball is all about. And this is the exact game. They're going to have to win 2 or 3 games just like this if they want to go to the state tournament, and I know that's their goal. One of those games will be against the Sauk Center team, but you came out tonight, you played with them, you alluded to it a little bit. They got down by 10 2 different times, came back in the game. They did everything they needed to do in this one. Couple shots fall their way, couple calls go their way. This is a different game, and so you can walk out of this gym tonight knowing that if you have to play Sauk Center in the section championship, semifinals, wherever it is, that you're just as good as they are.
Absolutely. I think you put these two teams on the schedule against each other twice a year. They probably split this game 1-1 apiece because these two teams, I think, are very evenly matched. I'd say they're probably the two best teams in all of Class 2A. This was a really good game here tonight, and I think this is going to help the Dragons a lot come playoff time. This is going to teach them a couple of things that maybe they need to fix or they want to work on and get better here. But overall, a solid game, a solid effort. Again, they fought back. They never gave up here in this one, and I think that's a key, and I think that's one thing you got to tell these players is, hey, you guys were down here in this game. You never gave up. You cannot lose that fight, and you didn't. A lot of teams would probably hang their heads and say, this one's over, this game it's done, we're done. But they didn't. They came back in this one, nearly had it tied up. And again, like you mentioned, a couple calls didn't fall their way, but that's okay because it's a huge game, and you're not going to get calls to fall your way each and every time. So you got to learn how to make sure you don't need those calls to fall your way, and you just get the victory.
And I'm less concerned about the calls and more concerned about, there was 5-6 shots that were halfway down and popped out. How many layups did they get down inside the paint and just roll around the rim? Those just weren't quite bouncing their way tonight. And so you get a little, you get those to bounce your way a little bit different. And this is a whole different ball game. And so Pine City ends the year at 24-2 on the season, and that is a phenomenal record. They're going to go into the playoffs as, like you said, maybe probably a 4 seed.
Yep.
They'll get a home playoff game. They'll play a familiar opponent. It sounds like either Rush City or Mora in that first round. And then, if you can get a good win in that first round game, then you're off to St. John's and just kind of see what happens from there.
Yeah, who knows? Once you get to St. John's, it could mean anything from there. Well, that does it here for me and Andrew. I'm Ethan Gilman. Thanks to Zach back in the studio for running things for us. Again, your final score here, Pine City 46, Sauk Center 49. Make sure you go out and thank all our fine sponsors personally because they're the only reason we get to come here and broadcast these games. I'm Ethan Gilman. Good night, everybody.